Lincoln Public Schools used the money they received from a class action lawsuit settlement against Juul to purchase the sensors, which cost about $1,200 apiece. When the vape detectors sense the impurities in the air, a silent alarm is sent to admin who go into the bathroom and try to differentiate who is vaping. First-time vapors go through a vape education program. By implementing this system, we are able to not only enforce school policies, but educate our students about the risks associated with vaping.
The vape detectors, which are made by Kindwell Electric, work by using a sensor to detect the presence of vaping and other unwanted behaviors, like THC. These vape detectors are another tool to combat the dangers of vaping.
I am here with
Casey Freeze, principal at Lincoln East High School.
and we are talking about the vape sensors today. Okay, so let's just jump right in.
Okay.
How effective would you say the vape detectors have been in reducing incidents within the school?
Well, at least in terms of incidents in the bathroom, I think they've been very effective.
Okay.
The sensors are pretty sensitive, and I think students kind of took their time to test that out, I guess, a little bit when we first got them. But we've seen, our number of sensors kind of drastically decrease from when we first installed them to today.
Can you outline for me the process of you get the message that one of the detectors has gone off? What happens after that happens?
So an alert goes off, and so we get alerted a couple different ways. So the first way is at our SIM stations. Our SIMs have cameras up, and when a sensor goes off, they actually get an alarm, and the camera kind of jumps to the restroom that it's at, not like inside, the outside of the restroom that it's at. We radio on security that, sensor alert in, let's say, second floor women's restroom. So then security will go there. Any students who are still in the restroom will come with the security guard to the office. While that's going on, usually we have an administrator kind of in the office looking at cameras to see who was actually in the restroom at the time or when that was going off. So while that's going on, we'll make sure that the students that are in our office were actually in there, because sometimes they weren't. If they weren't in there, they're dismissed. If they were in there, we'll call them into the office and we'll do a search, as well as anybody who may be left. We'll go get them. The search consists of our typical search, which is going through emptying up pockets, going through kind of a person's personal belongings if they happen to have their backpack with them, and then we do have what are called wands. So just kind of wand the individual to make sure it's not hidden somewhere.
Okay. What are your goals in the future regarding the vape detectors?
Well, I think they'll kind of always be a part of the school, but I want it to be a part, honestly, that we don't use very often. That's the goal.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love for them not to go off, because that tells me we're making some progress and those type of things. Our first week, we had right around 100 alerts. I think part of that was due to students, like I said, almost not believing they're real. Like, those are probably fake. They're just put up. Yeah. And then kind of how we started it, honestly, was the first 3 days we put them up, we actually didn't do the full search process. We brought students in and said, all right, we have the sensors, they do work. Going forward, starting next week, if this were to go off, here's the procedure. So we taught it in the sense of, we'll do a search, we'll use the wand, but we didn't do it for those first 3 days. We wanted to kind of make it a learning experience so students kind of knew what to expect, what would happen, that type of thing. And I think that helped to spread the word. We went from about 100 down to about 40 the second week, and now, on a typical week, we're 10 or lower. So it's really kind of had a positive impact in that sense.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.